Hello guys, in this session we will see about superconductivity. What is superconductivity? A state of material in which it has zero resistivity. That material having zero resistivity, it means it is called as superconductivity. Superconductivity was discovered in 1911 by Professor Heike Kamerlingh, who observed that the resistivity of mercury vanished completely below 4.2 Kelvin. The transition from normal conductivity occurring over a very narrow range of temperature of the order of 0.05 Kelvin. This first figure shows the resistance of mercury as a function of temperature. As you can see here, as temperature going to increase, then resistance in ohm for the mercury is going to increase. But at particular temperature, the resistance becomes saturated. In superconducting state of a material, the electrical resistivity is zero, and a persistent current can continue to flow without diminishing. Superconductivity appears at low temperatures and in magnetic field lower than a particular level. This second figure shows an example of the variation in electrical resistivity with respect to temperature. At a particular below temperature, the resistivity is very low. You can say that resistivity is zero. That section is indicated with here superconductivity. Beyond a particular temperature, that temperature which is called as critical temperature. After that critical temperature, this state is known as normal state, where the resistance or the resistivity is going to increase. The temperature at which superconductivity appears is called the critical temperature, or it is also called as transient temperature. Transient temperature. The superconductors are materials which show superconductivity under certain conditions of temperature and magnetic field. The state in which the superconductors does not show superconductivity is called normal state. A finite jump in the specific heat is observed at critical temperature. Hence, change from normal to superconducting state and vice versa is a second order phase transition. It is shown experimentally that entropy is lower in superconducting state than normal state. Next is Meissner effect. In 1933, Meissner's scientist Meissner discovered that not only did superconductors exhibit zero resistance, but also spontaneously expel all magnetic flux when pulled through the superconducting transition. That is, they are also perfect diamagnetic materials. We call this the Meissner effect. Meissner effect is not a consequence of zero resistance as Lenz's law, the flux is expelled as the superconductor is cooled in constant magnetic field. There is no time rate of change of magnetic induction. It means Lenz's law does not apply in this case. Perfect diamagnetism is an independent property of superconductors and shows that superconductivity involves a change of thermodynamic state, not just a spectacular change in electrical resistance. This is conceptually deepest property of superconductivity. In this figure shows or illustrate the Meissner effect, that is one of the popular symbol of superconductivity. It has observed that when long superconductor is cooled in longitudinal magnetic field from above the transition temperature, then the lines of induction are pushed out. As you can see here, the temperature is less than Tc here and B is equal to 0, then the magnetic field swirls around the conductor. We know that the basic relation, that is showing the magnetic properties of material with B is equal to mu 0 H into H plus M, where mu 0 is the permeability for air, vacuum. That's why it is indicated with mu 0. Also, we know that suppose that if you are considering B is equals to 0 for that equation, if you are putting B is equals to 0, then obviously it is considered that if B is equals to 0, mu 0 does not any appearance. So it can be written as H is equals to minus M if B is 0. It is as per the BH curves. Consequently, we know the susceptance. We can also define as is the ratio of M and H. So we may state that the magnetic susceptibility in a superconductor is negative. So this is referred as diamagnetism. This phenomena is called as Meissner effect. One of the Maxwell equation is curl of E is equal to minus dou B by dt, and we also know the Ohm's law, that is J is equals to sigma into E, which can be written as E is equals to resistivity into J. With the putting rho is equals to 0 here, rho is equals to 0, and if you are putting the rho is equals to 0, then capital E becomes also 0. So with the help of this equation, if you observe the E is equals to 0, the curl of 0, it becomes also 0. So this ratio dou B by dt should be 0. But this is not so because the flux exclusion from normal to superconducting state take place. A perfect diamagnetism and zero resistivity are two independent essential properties of the superconducting material or the superconducting state. Now let's see the effect of magnetic field. Removal of superconducting state does not only occur by raising the temperature, but also by subjecting the material to magnetic field. The critical value of magnetic field for the destruction of superconductivity, that is Hc, which is shown here, Hc is a function of temperature at T is equals to Tc. At T is equals to Tc, the Hc, it becomes 0. With only small deviation, the critical field Hc varies with respect to temperature according to the parabolic law. So according to the parabolic law, we can write the equation for as per this graph. Because if I changing Hc little bit also, then it will become a drastic change with the temperature. So equation can be write a parabolic as Hc is equals to H0 into bracket 1 minus T upon Tc bracket square. H0 is the critical field at absolute zero. It means temperature, if consider that temperature is 0 here, then a particular H is present here, magnetic field is present. So that present magnetic field is indicating with the H0. And Tc is the transition temperature. Tc is the transition temperature where Hc becomes 0. For any particular superconductor, the shape of variation of Hc with the temperature is shown here like parabolic. That shaded part is called as superconducting state. And beyond this shaded part, outside of that, this state is known as normal state. Let's see the types of superconductors. From their magnetic properties, superconductors are classified into two groups. Those that show perfect diamagnetism up to the critical field Hc and go to the normal state. As you can see here, Hc with respect to magnetic properties, that going to increase and it becomes a 0. This type of material or conductor is known as type 1 semiconductors. Soft metals such as lead or indium belong to this group. Actually, superconductors are classified with the two groups. First is the type 1 conductor and second is type 2 conductors. In the type 1 conductors, Hc is go with the linear and suddenly it is goes to the 0. That graphical representation shows the type of superconductor as type 1. And under this type of superconductors, that is under type 1 superconductor, the soft metals such as lead or indium are included. The critical field of these superconductors are low. Even tantalum, which has highest Hc, has a value of 0 Kelvin of permeability. So Hc of 0 can be written as 83. Hence, these materials are not suitable for high field applications. They are also called soft superconductors. The type 1 is also called as soft superconductors. They have low melting point These materials obey Mason's effect. On the other hand, there are hard materials and the alloys have a different magnetization characteristics, as you can see in the second figure. The strength of magnetic field is going to increase and again decrease with some curve and slowly decreased. This characteristics shows or classified a second type of conductor, that is type 2 superconductor. This is also called as hard superconductors. They are characterized by high transition temperature, high critical field, and incomplete Meissner effect, breakdown of that, and broad transition region. With the reference of the second figure, although Meissner state breaks down at a small magnetic field Hc1. Here you can see as Meissner effect showing here with increase with the linearity and goes suddenly down, and here Meissner effect is breakdown. So it is not coming to the directly 0 to Hc at Hc. So it is going to down slowly with the curve. So these characteristics fields are the lower and upper critical fields with respect to Hc1 and Hc2. This figure gives the characteristics curve for type 1 superconductors. Type 1 superconductors. You can see here the Meissner state is shown here. This is the normal state. Meissner state means you can say it is of superconducting state, and it is of mixed state. Maybe it is of superconducting or maybe it is of normal state. And generally it is nothing but a soft superconducting, that is type 1 superconducting region. Let's see some other properties of superconducting materials. First is frequency effect. Superconductivity is observed for DC and up to radio frequencies. It is not observed for higher frequencies. For a superconductor, the resistance is zero only when the current is steady or varies slowly. When the current fluctuates or alternates, small absorption of energy roughly proportional to a rate of alternation occurs, and it is not yet fully understood. When the frequency of alteration rises above 10 MHz, appreciable resistance arises, and at infrared frequencies, say 10 raised to 13 Hz, the resistivity is the same in the normal and superconducting state, and it is independent of temperature. Second property is entropy. Entropy increases ongoing from the superconducting state to normal state. Third is thermal conductivity. In an ideal superconductor, there is marked drop in the thermal conductivity when superconductivity set. In non-ideal superconductors, an increase in thermal conductivity or becoming superconducting has been observed in few specimens. Next is isotope effect. It has been observed that the critical temperature of superconductors varies with isotope mass, which can be related with the critical temperature is inversely proportional to the root of the isotope mass. These are some properties of superconducting materials. Let's see a few of the elements. This table shows some superconducting materials with their critical temperatures, where they can become they can change the transition from superconducting materials to normal state materials or vice versa. Just I'm highlighting a few of that with critical temperature. That is, for example, aluminum having critical temperature of 1.19 at this 1.19 Kelvin. At this temperature, it can be transist from superconducting state to normal state or normal state to superconducting state. Then you can observe that lead also here, lead for the lead 7.18 Kelvin having this is critical temperature for this element. And tin, just I'm highlighting popular elements. Tin that is having 3.72 Kelvin. If you are looking for the alloys or compounds, you can observe here. This part shows the superconducting material with the critical temperature for the alloys and compounds. Let's see the application. Superconducting materials are of interest because they promise low joule heating losses in electric power generation and transmission system. Today, superconducting magnet technology is in the mature stage. Many large magnets for nuclear fusion experiments have been constructed. The superconducting magnetic resources or resonance imaging market is going steadily, and an experimental magnetically levitated train is under development as a commercial transportation system. Superconductivity is also entering in the field of electronics. Superconducting technology has the inherent ability to provide devices, components, and systems which can greatly reduce overall system weight, volume, and input power. Superconducting technology can provide breakthrough in spacecraft design and performance many devices. Superconducting wires produced in 1961 could produce a magnetic field of 4 Tesla. With reference or with the present days, the technology we can have the wires of superconducting, which can produce the field up to 20 Tesla. Superconducting magnets find applications in the different areas. Let's see that areas. First is magnets for nuclear fusion. Second, magnets for high energy physics. Third, generators and motors. Fourth, magnetically levitated transportation. Fifth, superconducting magnets for energy storage. And sixth, magnetic resonance imaging and other applications in medicine. Superconducting materials are used as electronic switching devices that called as critrons. These are the applications of superconducting materials. Thank you very much.